Hello, welcome to my new video. This is Joe Oooii. Like and subscribe my channel if you like it, of course. If you don't like, go away. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here in Vietnam. It's sunny and windy at the same time, so the kind of weather I love it. And because of it, I would like to make a video about environment. It's gonna be maybe a complex video because as you can see, I take all in one shot, in one take, so I don't make it up again the video, I don't repeat it. And I would like to talk about how environment impacts hugely, dramatically on our everyday life, on our learning, and how environment affects our future too, because every day you can go one step forward or one step backwards on your learning. If you live in the right environment, if you spend most of your time in the right environment, you can progress, you can improve your language skills, whatever you are learning. But if you don't, maybe it's because of the environment. If you spend your time around and you live in a bad environment, that's affect our learning, everyday learning. I'm gonna give you some very fresh, so simple examples taken from nature, because nature is the first example of our life. We observe nature and we learn from it. Since the very start of humanity, we have learned from and by nature observation. By observing, we learn. And science is just a bad copy of what nature can do and can make in real life, in everyday life. Let's take a first example. If you pour in a clean glass water solution, something that changed the colors, like a tea bag. If you pour a tea bag in a clean water, you will see that everybody knows that in few seconds, in few minutes, the water color will change hugely, and it will become darker and darker. That is just a little example how small things can change completely, not only the color but also the water solution that now becomes tea. The taste change, the color change, and the water solution, the chemistry inside changes. What about a fruit? Everybody knows about a rotten apple. If you put a rotten apple in a bench, it spoils the bench. A rotten apple is the old saying, no? A rotten apple spoils the bench. And it's true. So everything changes if you put something bad or something that can affect the environment, usually in a matter of seconds, in a matter of days. In our life too, we are as animals. As far as I know, we are all animals on this planet, and humans doesn't change that. We are animals too, and as animals, if you live in aggressive, in impolite, in let's say bad environment, we copy them. To survive as animals, we have to adapt, and that adapting change ourselves, change the way we see the world, change our behavior, and can change also our body, physically, our expression. If you are in a sad environment, our face becomes sad too. If you live with sad people, we become sad too. Environment is very important. I would say that is like 90% of our life process, our learning. So what I'm trying to say is, when you live in a place, that is your environment. How is your environment? Is good or bad? Ask yourself. If you can change it, change it. If you can move it. If you have the willpower, what can go against the obstacles or against the bad environment? What can you do to change your environment? You can do two things. Isolate yourself. You can isolate yourself in a room, in another place. You can change your mindset, I am alone, I need to focus on my learning. Whatever you're learning cooking, you try to cook in another place, in another room. Isolate yourself. Find a kitchen oven only for you, just stove, whatever. If you're learning English, try to study, open your book in the right place, try to isolate yourself. because as humans we have something more than animals. We have our mind, and our mindset can be very strong. That is called will and willpower. If you have a strong will, you can isolate yourself even living in a bad environment. Of course, your learning will be less, much more less effective than if you was in a good environment. Of course, if you are living in a bad environment, you cannot change it. So isolating yourself is the only way to survive and to adapt yourself in that bad environment, and you can still learn, of course. But if you can, the first thing is isolate yourself. Open your book, open your computer, and try to study and focus on what you are doing today and what you are learning. The second thing is, if you cannot change it, if you cannot isolate, you can change it. You can move from one place. I'm here now in Vietnam. If you don't like it, if you don't feel that this place belongs to you, if you have the power, save money and go abroad and move out from the environment. Or you just move a city, from one city to another, from one town to another. A little step by step, as I did, as far as my experience told me, can change your life. It can change your bad environment for a good one. You can change for the better, for improving and make a difference in your life. Okay? As animals, we are all part in this problem of this environment. Environment is very important, okay? Science tells us, nature tells us, Natura, that is God in all things, tell us that environment is very important. So what I can sum up here and tell you, if you don't like your environment, if you don't feel comfortable in your environment, you can change it, okay? I believe in you. You can change. As far as humans, as human history told you, when when an animal is dying and he tries to survive, he changes place, no? That's how nature works. That's how our penguin adapted to live in the North Pole. That's how the giraffe made by centuries her neck longer to reach leaves and to survive, to adapt themselves. Since we are the most magnificent machine, the most magnificent animal, the most incredible and on the top of the survival game of this planet called Earth, we can change and we can put our mindset and we can use our mindset, our will to change our environment. So I believe you can change your environment, because if you live in a bad environment, that affects your learning, darken your thoughts, make you unable to learn. If you're in a bad environment for years, that affects your learning. There are all things. If you live with people who don't speak English, you will not be able to get high English proficiency. Of course, you can isolate yourself and read, as I did, learn English tests and learn on your own. But that will always affect your learning. Okay? If you can change your environment, change it. If you can't, because of money, because of family duties, because of responsibilities, try to isolate yourself. You can still reach, in this case, let's talk about English. You can still learn English here in Vietnam and reach an intermediate level, even higher level. Who told you you can't? You can, of course. There are so many natives here, so many people who speak well English. You can talk to them, you can, don't feel shy, you can start a conversation with everyone you want. Okay? Also online, you can chat, you can call someone, video chat. There are so many websites, so many software, so many apps you can use to improve your English skills. Don't worry, you don't need to move abroad forcefully. You can learn English at high proficiency, also staying in your own room and cultivating your interest and studying your grammar books, okay? Just, you will never be able maybe to reach a native level, because you are in the bad environment. Around you they don't speak Vietnamese, but they don't speak English, they don't speak that second language that you are trying to learn, on third language, okay? So try to focus on your learning process, what you want to learn, and focus on that, and believe in yourself. Even if you cannot change your environment, you can learn, okay? Bye bye, because we are special animals, as nature taught us in 1,000 years. Bye bye.